Good morning, students. This is M.A. Shande, Assistant Professor in English at this College of Commerce, Varda. We are going to discuss the vocabulary or business terminology, which is the part and parcel of your syllabus in the subject Supplementary English, BCom, third semester. So, this part, this portion, or the question based on this particular portion is quite different from rest of the questions which are asked from the syllabus, which are based on the rest of the syllabus apart from this, right? It means other questions will be based on the prose section, the poetry section, the poems which we have already discussed, or the lessons that we have already gone through or discussed in detail, right? But this is a little bit different from that portion. It's because the nature of questions based on this particular portion will be quite different. How? Let me tell you. In this part, or in the questions related to this particular part, you will be given explanation or the description of a particular thing. Thing here means what? It implies a word or a term, a concept. I shouldn't say concept, it's a big thing, right? But a simple term. It means an explanation will be given, and for that you have to write an apt word, single word. Which word would be related to that explanation, or would be an apt word, a specific word, the specific word for that explanation. So I think you must have understood the nature of the questions based on this particular portion from your syllabus. So first of all, it is just like one word substitution which you must have learned, discussed, studied in your first year. So the first term which is there, that is ad valorem. I would like to tell you the meaning of this particular term, business term. Ad valorem is a kind of phrase. It is actually a kind of text also. But here you have to keep in your mind this meaning which I am going to tell you. Ad valorem is a phrase that is used to indicate the value of something. You will find various meanings of each of the terms which I have written here on the green board or the blackboard. But here you have to consider about only one thing, that is the phrase used to indicate the value of something. It is related to tax definitely. That is called what? Ad valorem. Now we move to the next term, that is authorized capital. I am again telling you, you will not be given the terms. Instead of that, you will be given what? The description or the explanation, and for that explanation you have to write the term. But for your information, for your kind information, for your feasibility, convenience, I have written the terms here on the blackboard, and you will be provided with the detailed notes regarding the same also. So the next term, that is authorized capital. It is related to capital. As you are the commerce students, as you have commerce background, definitely you know the meaning of capital. Authorized capital, it is the total nominal or stated value of all the shares which a company is authorized to issue. Means company has the authority to issue the total nominal or stated value of all the shares. So this is called what? Authorized capital. Now there is another term, there is another word, that is benchmark. So what does it mean by benchmark? What is the meaning of benchmark? It's the basis. It's a kind of basis for comparison, comparing the things, right? Different things. It is a kind of basis. It is a kind of base. It is a basis for comparison between things, something which can be measured and used as a point of reference or standard. Standard word is very important in the definition of this benchmark. Benchmark with which other things can be compared. It is a kind of base for comparison between the things. So that is called benchmark. Then there is another word, that is blue chip See, it means a company which represents a safe and reasonably profitable long-term investment, a reputation earned by a history of good performance and management. A blue chip is a blue chip security is a share in such a firm. So this is the explanation for this term or terminology, blue chip. Now there is a corporation. Next phrase, that is a kind of collection of individuals acting as a single entity. It means when various individuals come under a single umbrella, under one particular banner, right? So far as business sector is concerned, a collection of individuals acting as a single entity, they work as a single company, right, which has a legal status and autonomy in business dealings. Different people coming under a common name as a company, as a single entity, which has legal status and autonomy also in business dealings, right? That is called corporation. Now, there is another term. The next term is credit rating. So, the meaning of credit rating is an indication of the credit worthiness of an individual or company based on an assessment of their ability to repay the amount of credit advanced. That is called credit rating. Now there is the term debenture. So what is the meaning of debenture? A kind of security, is type of security on which interest is paid. So it's easy, I think, for you to remember, to keep it in your mind. A type of security is kind of security on which interest is paid as a percentage of its nominal value. That is called debenture. Now, dividend. This is a very common and very famous word so far as the sector of commerce is concerned. So it's a kind of payment made to the shareholder. It is a kind of payment made to a holder of shares or other securities, usually expressed as a percentage of the nominal value of the security held. That is called dividend. Then there is excise duty. It is kind of duty, it is kind of tax. A tax levied on goods sold within a country as distinct, different from customs duty. It is different from customs duty, which covers goods imported, which are imported into a country. That kind of that duty, that tax is called excise duty. Then there is another term. Next term is face value. It is the amount excluding interest. Excluding interest, not including interest, due on maturity to a holder of a bond or security. That is called face value. Then there is fringe benefits. Rewards to employees beyond their basic remuneration. What did I say? Rewards to employees, to workers, to employees beyond their basic remuneration. Okay. Remuneration package such as free or subsidized food, travel, etc. Means all this kind of allowances, right? Food or travel, special low interest mortgage rates, special price, access to a company's products, etc. These are kind of benefits given to the employees beyond their basic remuneration package. That is called fringe benefits. You can say these are somewhat extra benefits given to the workers or the employees. That is called fringe benefits. Now there is goodwill. I think this word must be familiar to all the people, especially you students, because you are from commerce background. Goodwill. It is most buzzing word, we can say, in our area or arena of commerce. Goodwill. So, in explanation, you should remember that the intangible, which cannot be touched, seen, etc., the intangible set of factors which develop in a business. So which are that factors? Which are those factors? It is important for us to know about those factors. The intangible set of factors which develop in a business, such as customer loyalty, reputation, special expertise, etc. When the business is sold, it is often the practice to put a value on such loyalty and reputation, etc. So for this explanation, there is the term that is goodwill. Now, next is gross profit. Gross profit. You can define this particular term as a figure representing the revenue from the sale of a product. A figure representing the revenue from the sale of a product or service minus the cost of its production. No other costs of taxes are deducted at this stage in the accounts. That is called gross profit. Now there is inflation. I think all the people must have borne brunt of inflation in our life. So it is related to the hike in the price of the product in the market. Inflation in economics. In economics, the condition in which prices rise, hike in price, when the prices go up to reflect rising incomes, which in turn pushes up the demand for greater purchasing power, eventually leading to increased prices. Increased prices means inflation. Inflation. Then there is another word that is called inventory, INVENTORY. The explanation of this term is given here. The various forms of material held by a company. See, the various forms of material held by a company at any time, such as raw materials, partly finished products, that is work in progress, and finished goods awaiting dispatch. In accounting, the term is used to describe the costs of such materials, that is called inventory. Then there is the word or the term joint venture. Joint venture. From these two words, you can have an idea that it must be about coming together of people for a business enterprise, etc. So, the question is how you will write or how you will understand. It means for you, it is important to know the explanation. The explanation is like this: a project or a company in which two or more individuals, just I told you, or organizations, not just individuals but organizations also, when they come together, participate to share the risks and benefits according to some agreed formula. That's called joint venture or joint business. Now there is the word or the term kickback. It is a kind of bribe. It is a kind of bribe or inducement given to someone in return for their assistance, influence in course of a business or decision. For example, awarding of a contract. That is called kickback. It is kind of bribe. Just keep in mind the word bribe when you try to give to someone for their help in your business, but not in good manner, right? Next is lease. The next term is lease. It is kind of a contract for a stipulated period of time, for a certain period of time. Lease. An arrangement whereby the owner of something, that is land, transport, property, etc., allow its use by someone else for a specified period of time but retains its ownership. Means the person who allows other people to use all these things, transport property, but its ownership is held by that particular person or the owner only. So this is called lease. Now there is another term, mortgage. It has somewhat lengthy explanation. A loan made on the security of something. This club of words or this line is very important, so that you can easily memorize or keep in your mind or learn the meaning of mortgage. What? A loan made on the security of something, typically a property, where the owners do not pass to the person taking out the loan until it is repaid, but where he may have of it provided he continues to repay the loan in agreed installments. When you take the loan from someone else and for that you keep something with that person, okay, that is called mortgage, as a kind of security, Now there is next term, patent. So patent is a kind of official record of specific rights. An official record of specific rights awarded to an individual or group to prevent from copying a design for goods or manner of procedure, etc. For example, a manufacturing invented by that individual or group for a specified time. That is called patent. Then there is portfolio. It is a kind of collection. It is a collection of interdependent products, services, or investments or securities upon which business is based. So this is called what? Portfolio. Then there is the term running costs. Expenses incurred in a daily operation of a business project. Expenses incurred in the daily operation of a business or project. That is called running costs. Then there is a social security, a state administered scheme. Social security means what? A state administered scheme to provide financial help, financial assistance, financial support for individuals who are unable to support themselves. So this is called social security. The example is the result of unemployment, etc. Then there is the word surety. There is the new term, that is surety. It's kind of guarantee provided by a third party. Guarantee provided by a third party in support of an application for a loan. Right, that is called surety. And lastly, there is voucher. It's simply a receipt for the payment that you have made. When you purchase something, you get a receipt. So that is called voucher. This particular term has two different meanings, which are given in the textbook itself. Another meaning is what? A kind of token. It is a token which may be exchanged subsequently for services. So it's in simplest words, you can say it's kind of receipt for payment. So these are in total 25 business terminologies or terms which are the part of your syllabus, and as in the very beginning I have already told you that you will be given the explanation will be given in the question paper of the university, and for that explanation you have to write only one word which would be befitting or which would directly be related to that explanation. This way you have to write an apt word, a correct word, a good word which would be called term or terminology. So this is vocabulary or terminology, and there are only 25 terms. There are only 25 terms which are given in the textbook itself. So you have to learn all these terms. You have to know their meanings, And in the beginning also I told you that we are provided the notes from time to time. This time also definitely you will be provided with the notes from that. Your ideas will be more clear. So far as this particular question is concerned, and I think it's the easiest thing to understand. So we'll stop here. Thank you.